Hello my snacks, welcome back, my name is Jack. Before we go to the title story later on in this video, we're going to backtrack to a story I read earlier in this week about a poly partner trying to be a poly parent. Well, it turns out, just like the previous story I made a video on, there was an update behind my back. So, we're just going to quickly revisit this one. For the sake of completion, I'm going to read the original story as is. I'll leave little time codes in the description for you to skip ahead if you need to. With that said, let's get into it. So I'm a 16 female, my parents are 36 each, they became poly 4 years ago. They came to me and explained what it meant to be that. They've been dating the same person, Madison, 27 female, for the past 3 years, and she moved in with us 2 years ago. She's an overall okay-ish person, but she's very much into being some kind of cool mom, which she will never be for me. My parents' relationship with Madison is very serious. Both of my families know her, and while not everyone accepts her as a real part of their marriage, they're okay with her too. For me, she's more like a roommate my parents love, rather than a parent figure or someone I have to listen to. My dad's is okay with her trying to discipline me, but my mum is not. Well, 2 days ago, my boyfriend walked me home and I invited him to have a piece of cake, since my mum's birthday was the day before, and he couldn't come. He said yes, and we went inside, and that's honestly everything we did. Madison came an hour after, and we were still in the kitchen, eating and watching TikToks together. I had my head on his shoulder, and we were just chilling. She saw us and began to act very weird. She said hi and drank a glass of water, but after 10 minutes, she just stood there, pretending to watch her phone. But it was pretty obvious she was watching us. My boyfriend felt uncomfortable, and he said his goodbyes. When Madison and I were left alone, she approached me saying it wasn't okay for me being alone with a boy at 16 and that she would appreciate I don't do it again. I was honestly shocked. My parents know my boyfriend pretty well, and more than that, they know me. And I would never betray their trust by doing something I'm not allowed yet just because I was alone. She wanted to keep talking, but I cut her off and said that she had no right to try and give me the talk, and she wasn't my parent in any form to try and parent me or give me unsolicited advice. She said she was just trying to help me. But I said she had better not, and any concern she had, she could talk to my real parents, and if they see it fit, they will talk to me. But just because she was dating them both didn't make her mummy too, and I went to my room. This morning, while my dad drove me to school, he said Madison talked to both of them, and my mum decided that she overstepped, but that he agreed with her, and he would appreciate a heads up when my boyfriend and I are alone, and that if it was okay for me, I could apologize. But I said I didn't feel like it, and he said he was disappointed. So now we move on to the update. If you pondered the idea that, hey, maybe telling your child, who is only like 12 years at the time, that you're suddenly gonna have a third person living with you as an equal adult, you know, maybe you shouldn't fully trust the fact that this 12-year-old is absolutely certain they're okay with that kind of thing. Because in this update, the OP essentially kicks the hornet's nest with the established family dynamic. So hello, I'm sorry for not posting or saying anything anymore yesterday. Per my last update, around 5 PM, my mum got home and 30 or so later, I asked my dad and her if we could talk. Madison was at the gym, so we just sat on the couch, and I was honest. I told my mum what my dad had said in the morning ride, and I confessed to my dad that it was unfair that just because Madison thought that it was improper of us, my boyfriend and I, to be alone in the house, he suddenly changes the game. I've always been completely honest with them, and I reminded them so. I said that. As soon as we got home, I sent them a text telling them that I was already here and that my boyfriend was over. And he said nothing there. The dad, I presume. I also told them that I didn't feel comfortable with Madison living here and that maybe I never was. But I was so young to understand what it really meant to have poly parents, and while I don't really care for their romantic life, ever since Madison snitched on me, it had made me feel like I've been walking on eggshells in my own house, and that my dad saying he was disappointed felt like Madison matters more than me in the house. Damn, OP, stop communicating your feelings so well for your age. You're making me as a grown adult feel like a... Wow, why did I take so long? I've always been a loner. Always. I spend time with my parents, yes, but I love to be alone in my room, in the kitchen, in the living room, doing my own stuff. I've never had to hide for anything. But Madison proved that whatever she doesn't like or she thinks I shouldn't be doing, she'll spy and tell. And it wasn't fair. Because while Madison is nothing to me, and her opinion doesn't matter, I've proved to them that I can be trusted, and that I don't do things like that behind their back. Seriously, OP, please never ask me for money because you'll be too good at persuading me to give it to you. While saying that, my voice cracked, and my dad came to my side and hugged me, saying that he was so sorry, and that I was right. He apologized again for the way he acted in the car, and that he should have never said he was disappointed, because he wasn't. That he couldn't have asked for a better kid, and that he felt so bad for hurting me to the point I had to talk to them alone. He hugged me, and my mum just looked at him and said they had to talk to Madison alone. Because she has said countless times that she doesn't appreciate her giving advice or thinking she was some kind of responsibility over me. She also said that I never, ever have to walk on eggshells here because this is my house and will forever be my house. And if I didn't act shamefully, then I don't have to be ashamed, and gave me a kiss on the forehead. She asked me to call my boyfriend so they could apologize to him, and gave us some money to go to Starbucks for a few hours, and so we did. God, see what I mean? She didn't even ask for money, and they gave her money. This woman's a manipulative psychopath. I honestly don't know everything that happened between them and Madison, but my dad said that he was tired of having to please two women in his life, and that whatever right he did for Mum was a wrong for Madison, and vice versa, and that for a while he has wanted to break that relationship, but wasn't sure if my mum wanted to because, well, despite not agreeing in parenting choices, my mum loved her a lot, and it showed. But my mum said she was done too, and they will be attending couples counseling and see where it gets them. They also gave Madison 2 weeks to move out, but she was already packing when I got home, and she went to stay with her parents. She glared at me once, and apart from that, didn't even look at me again. So I guess there's that. That's the update! My parents broke up with Madison, and I got to talk to them. It's really weird not having her around, but I really like it. My mum read the post and some of the responses. My dad decided not to, since everything was settled. Now, come on, Dad, read the comments. See how much everyone loves you. After reading the post, my mum also apologized for bringing Madison in with me so young, and while I said I didn't really mind, she said sorry. Thanks everyone for your support. It's good end of the day that the mum realized her mistakes in this. And let this be a lesson to those out there who are so curious about polyamory or think they'd be down for it just because, hey, you get to bang multiple people. If you find one person exhausting to constantly be there for or give time to and etc., you are not going to survive polyamory. It'd be like trying to learn to juggle before you've learned to actually, I don't know, move an arm. Master of metaphors! Comments give props to the OP, yes, for just really great communication skills. Scary communication skills. Please, don't ever talk to me. I'll do whatever you say, and not in the way because I want to, but just because, god damn it, your points are so valid. Now, on to this title story that has an update. It began over 12 days ago, with a recent update now, starting as I told my sister that her boyfriend totally isn't straight, but now she won't talk to me. I'm a 23-year-old male, and my sister, who's 23, female. We're technically step-siblings, but don't really see it that way. We've always been close and told each other everything, even what we honestly think of each other's boyfriends. We never try to get angry at the other from their opinion or advice, even if we don't agree. Well, that clearly aged like milk. We hang out in the same friend circles, always have since we were always in the same classes, and got along with the same people. One of these people is my sister's boyfriend. It's pretty recent and new for them. The problem is her boyfriend is always flirty with me, before they started dating, and even now. At first, I thought he was just doing the homoerotic thing straight guys always do, but it seems a bit more than that. Oh no, don't introduce the term homoerotic to a bunch of straight guys who are still clearly insecure about expressing themselves. We've come so far in men's mental health, don't ruin things! He's always texting me, sending me shirtless pics, asking how he looks, slapping my butt, and just general flirting. Like I said, this just seemed like what straight guys do with each other from my perspective, since they are always doing homoerotic things to mess with each other, but it went a bit far last week when we all got drunk, and he ended up grinding his junk against my backside.
Okay, hold up. I'm sorry, no, I've never sent shirtless pics asking how I look to fellow mates. To be fair though, you know what? Maybe I should. If I didn't have a girlfriend who didn't appreciate that already, I'd absolutely text mates shirtless pics. It feels weird. It just feels weird to say that.
Now, I stopped the rubbing of the junking as soon as I realized what was happening with him, but I felt guilty about it. I told my sister the next morning about what was been happening, and he's totally not straight. He seems at least bi-curious to me. Well, my sister didn't like that, and accused me of being jealous and liking him, called me an a-hole and a blech, and has been avoiding talking to me since. She's never done this. I know it's a different situation, but I thought we could be honest with each other about each other's boyfriends. Followed by a TLDR, and honestly, I think if she's reacting like this after you establishing such a history of trust together, it's because she knows, man. If he hasn't flat out told her, he's been making it obvious, and she's become very insecure about it. Top comment saying, my husband's guy friends don't do that grinding or stuff you were saying he's doing, but your sister getting upset to me means she really likes him. Just lay off the comments. Now that she heard you say it though, oh, she'll be analyzing him more, lol. You can't unhear something like that. Boyfriend definitely wants to be analyzed. And as we were saying, yeah, it's likely that she has noticed, but she's just wanting to avoid it. And her brother pointing it out now means she has to face the music. And that's the problem. Okay, it's okay to be a little bit curious. You know, flirting is extremely borderline, and especially if it's not just banter that's accidentally going a bit too far without, you know, you really being fully aware of how you're emotionally being about the back and forth. Because yeah, look, when you really hit it off with someone, your banter can sometimes just be influenced by your excitement of hanging out with this person that you really blend well with. And you know, you gotta double check yourself. Be like, okay, yes, it's fun bantering with this person, but is the banter we're having right now appropriate considering how my partner might feel about this? And if you think that's a really complicated thing to have to deal with when being in a relationship with someone, well then just communicate to them and figure out what you guys are okay with and your boundaries. Duh. Anyway, that all said, he's still, yes, borderline cheating. I mean, he literally was being physical with someone else. Ignoring the whole absurdity of it being her literal brother, it's still the fact that he was trying to be sexual with someone else. This isn't just a case of a tee-hee, someone's not out of the closet yet sort of issue. It's literal, hey, your boyfriend's actually cheating on you? But okay, that was 2 weeks ago. Now we've got an update from today. So me, 23, my sister, 23 as well, are talking again. She actually is staying with me currently since we both need support from each other. She is no longer seeing her ex, and he's been kicked out of the friend group since he did something terrible to me. I tried to file a police report, but the man I was talking to said it would be a waste of time, so I wasn't able to. I, more like my sister, plan to try and complain to someone more higher up or something. I'm not sure how it works. I'm trying to stay strong, but I've been a mess the past few days. I think I'm only here now because of my sister, who's been my rock. My sister has also been helping me find someone to talk about all this. At the moment, though, I'm just numb. A lot of questions have been swirling around my head, like, why me? Why did I deserve this? Why, again? I really hate myself at the moment. My poor sister has to deal with a breakup and me being a mess now. I don't know how I'll ever make it up to her. Yeah, it seems over the 2 weeks the OP really kind of... Again, it's kind of like the last story we were reading about how people partake in these acts, or at least, you know, they... Not really them partaking in it, but experiencing it. And it's not until later they realize that, oh, no, wait, I wasn't actually in control of that situation. I was actually a victim of someone's assault. And the OP, now, instead of feeling like they were assaulted, feels like, yeah, it's their fault that their sister is now single, etc. It's like that comment I read earlier, how it was when a drunk guy suddenly wakes up to a woman riding on top of him, he doesn't think that he's being raped, he thinks that he's being just made a drunken mistake, or, you know, he's cheating on his partner sort of thing, instead of the fact that, no, he's been taken advantage of. And yeah, if you can see that comment, this guy's just an absolute scumbag. And it's really nice to know that he's been kicked out of the sister's life. There isn't much left to really say with that story, so we'll move on. But all the best to the OP here. I hope they're able to see someone to talk about this, because they definitely should. On to the next story. Am I the a-hole for losing it on my husband for lying about an emergency to get me to leave my brother's wedding early? My husband has been sick for the last few days. He got SICM around the time of my brother's wedding. I took care of him 24 hours for days. He's on meds and can move and go to the bathroom and eat on his own. I told him I was going to my brother's wedding, and he threw a fit, saying I couldn't leave him alone and he's sick. Well, I told him he was not that sick. It's just some stomach ache that he's getting treatment for and suggesting he call his sister to come stay with him. He said no and told me to miss it. I got upset and bluntly said no and that he could survive for a few hours while I attend the wedding. He sulked, and as I was leaving, he said he hoped I won't ever come back. It hurt my feelings, but I know he was just mad and didn't mean it.
This goes beyond the idea of man flu. Like, this is just man-child.
My dearest love, I appreciate all the nursing you have given me in this time.
What do you mean you're leaving for a little bit? No, you suck! You're the worst! You clearly don't care about me!
At the wedding, I got a text from him saying he lost balance and fell off the stairs and hurt his back. He said he was in a lot of pain, he threw up and couldn't move, and insisted I get home ASAP. Well, I freaked out and started calling his phone, but he didn't answer. I thought, oh, he must have passed out, and I freaked out even more. I got in my car and drove back to our house immediately. And now welcome, class, to How to Get Your Ass Divorced 101. When I got home, I rushed towards the stairs while calling out his name, but he wasn't there. I started to really freak out. I rushed into the bedroom and found him in bed drinking juice. And as soon as he saw me, he put the phone down. I instantly knew he lied, so I lost it on him and started yelling, saying he freaked me out and caused me to miss my brother's wedding for nothing. Absolutely nothing. He said that he already told me I couldn't leave him alone in the house, and that this very scenario could have happened if I stayed there any longer.
I yelled at him, calling him horrible, which made him cry. Oh, come on!
I know I said I hope you never come back, but when you said I was horrible for doing a horrible thing, that hurts my manly feelings.
He started crying and throwing his juice all over the place. Yeah, no, come on, this has got to be a plot twist that you were actually... He's 23 years old! Oh, you married too young. I had to step out and call his sister, thinking she'd come help. But she came and started cussing me out, saying I had a lot of nerve expecting her to back me up after I so carelessly left her brother alone at the house in that state just to attend a party. We got into an argument and I went to stay with my family. My brother understood when I explained the situation to him. My husband and I haven't seen each other since then, but his sister kept saying I had no right to scream at her brother and cause him a panic attack, and said that he at least was clear with me from the start, but I chose to be dismissive. He wasn't clear from the start. He was clear once he got what he wanted. It's like believing in sex after marriage, but then saying once you tie the knot, oh, that you practice abstinence.
No, but see, I've been honest from the start of our marriage.
Now, I was curious what SICM was. It was just learning now, a typo for the word sick. Here I was thinking it was some sort of specific type of medical issue that could help explain. Maybe it was something really serious that she herself didn't actually know. And look, the dude could have genuinely been feeling really sick and bad. But yo, the fact there was no backup plan of someone else to contact if she's not around all the time, or even honoring the fact that she deserves some her time after being there for you for so long, for days straight. Welcome, 23-year-old man-child, to the woman who's going to leave your ass and hopefully give you a dose of reality where you'll become a better man in years to come. Fingers desperately crossed that is the case for you. You're the a-hole for marrying a child. That's illegal. Yeah, some people can't even take this seriously. Honestly, it does make me a bit suspicious as well, just in the way she's portrayed him. Because, like, you read this story, yeah, and he comes across as an absolute baby. And not that that isn't a thing that some guys are like, because yeah, they're definitely like that. God, I used to be a bit of a man baby in my late teens. Oh, let's not go there. But I don't know, it just feels like maybe there was a bit more about this than him simply being a little bit sick. Maybe her caring for him over the last few days, it was actually really bland and careless. You know, maybe it caused a bit of a tension between them where he felt like she didn't really care about his well-being, so he didn't really care about respecting her personal time. Now, I wouldn't say that really excuses him, though. If that was the truth, it just makes him equally as bad as what she's been. Because end of the day, this story is just about whether or not she was a bad person to go to an event, and she wasn't. Nata,
obviously. Let's move on now to someone with such tinted rose glasses that I'm not sure they can even see. My girlfriend cheated. Now my family hates her. Hi, I've never really written in here before, so sorry if this reads jumpy awkward or is plain nonsense. English is my second language. For context, we're Mexican. Being Mexicans who live in Mexico makes it very hard to earn a living while being a professional in any field, so I still live with my parents while I save up for a fully independent life. My girlfriend, 25, we'll call her A, and I, 26, were together for almost 2 years. We broke up in August of last year. We were both starting new jobs that we're getting used to. I was saving to buy a new car, so seeing her and visiting her every day was hard because she lives across town from me, literally opposite sides, and I was on a budget. She was used to being in relationships where she and her partners basically lived together, so this really put a strain on the relationship that she couldn't handle. She decided to break up, which we agreed would be a timeout for both of us. A week later, she started dating some guy whom she met the previous month, and a couple of weeks later, she and him were living together. Damn, isn't that convenient?
Hey babe, who's this guy orbiting around you? Oh, don't worry, he's just a friend from a month ago. Hey, by the way, we should break up.
So she told me about a month later about all of this, and swore to me she never cheated or left me for someone else. So I don't think she cheated, but I still felt betrayed. Especially because she never stopped telling me how much she loves me and I mean to her.
So this guy benefits me right now, but I just want you to know that you mean so much to me. As long as you keep, being around, alright? You just keep doing that thing that he was doing, okay?
You mean orbiting?
No, don't think of it as orbiting. Think of it as just, hanging around.
Fast forward to February this year. She calls me, tells me her relationship is over and wants to see me. I go see her and we talk. She confessed she never stopped loving me and thought about me every day. That I didn't deserve the way she treated me and was so ashamed for how things developed. I forgave her and we later had sex that day.
Okay, yeah, look, in rom-coms, that can be a thing. Granted, this relationship did fall apart because of the logistics of it. The logistics being that she didn't have him nearby to bang when she wanted to. Look, I know long distance isn't for everyone, but this was just being in a town apart from each other. They're adults too. They're not teenagers. They can stay at each other's house at the end of the day if they wanted to. I don't know, maybe I'm getting a bit too biased too early.
It's just that after her confessing her love, that she misses him and wants to be with him,
oh, you think they become an actual relationship again, right?
Nope. Since then, we have been on and off as friends with benefits, but we clearly have strong feelings for each other.
Then just date! Stop wasting each other's time!
I always lie to my family when it's about her. They don't know all the times we've seen each other or how much we talk to each other. They hate her. And the few times they caught me on the lie, they freak out, claim I don't love myself, and speak ill of her. I'm such a coward when it comes to my parents because I don't really stand up to them to defend A because I just want the sermon to end. It kills me though. I also understand where they're coming from. They only want what's best for me and care and worry about me, my health, and choices. Anyway, getting to the point here, A knows my family hates her and feels violated by how present they are in my life. I feel as if I have no privacy and hate that feeling. Now lately, we have started talking more and more about how we feel. We both love each other and honestly, I think I would like to try it again. The problem is I don't want to be with anyone who I can't bring home to my parents. I am also still scared of her. I'm scared that she might feel like she doesn't want to be with me anymore, leaves again, and goes straight away towards someone else. Like, I already forgave her, but the fear is still there.
Then you shouldn't have forgiven her, because clearly you still feel these things.
Today, the idea of leaving and renting a place with A has crossed my mind a lot. But with all these issues between us, I'm not really sure it's worth it to cripple my relationship with my parents, who actually stuck with me and saw the damage that her actions caused me, to go and try it out with her. I also love her very deeply, but maybe I'm just idolizing our relationship. The point is, I feel lost. Should I talk to my parents to try and convince them while I move away, or should I just let go of everything and strengthen my relationship with my family? Please, be empathetic.
Here's some empathy. Yeah, your parents are the only sane ones in this story. You are the girl's backup plan. Nothing more. Just a week after she'd started dating the other dude, damn. And when her relationship is over, she suddenly has always loved you, blah, blah, blah. You've got rose-tinted glasses, my dude. If she had always loved you, she wouldn't have banged and lived with some other dude. No. She got broken up with, and you're her backup. Why the flying Tostito chip would you want to be with someone that sees you as an afterthought? Agreed. See, we can regret the decisions we make, leaving partners or rejecting people, etc. And okay, if you realize, hey, you made a mistake, sure, reach out to that person, confess that you regret what you did and you want to try it again, etc. But you've got to fully accept, and if anything, encourage them to be willing to say, you know what, no, screw you, you clearly didn't prioritize me as much as I was willing to prioritize you. Like, I feel there's a clear evidence of maturity in someone when it's worth actually giving it another try. Especially on how they broke up with you in the first place. When it was because, oh, you live so far away from me. And someone else is in my life right now who clearly wants to bang and has the things that I want, so I'm gonna go bang them. But you were great, okay, bye. Like, no, that person doesn't deserve a second chance. They haven't learnt their lesson losing you in that moment, so then, you know, oh, they've done their time, now let's welcome them back into your life on a clean slate. No. Their lesson is losing you forever. But that's my thoughts anyway. I mean, on a deeper level, it is a complicated thing, because I do agree in the idea that people deserve second chances or opportunities to grow and learn from what they've done, but then I also believe in cutting people out of your life entirely, so... Where do you find that in your own life? Like, in your own moral compass of sorts, what do you find to be that difference between get out of my life until I'm certain you've learnt what you clearly need to learn about yourself and others, versus I'm not going to waste any emotional or mental energy on you in my life ever. Bye-bye. Into the void. And with that, we'll end today's stories there. Thank you, as always, for watching. You're an absolute gem if you made it to the end of this video. Oh, love you. Remember to drink some water. That is a thing you can put in your mouth, and that's good. We like that. Anyway, I'm going. Bye-bye. Love your face. See you next time.